The following is a presentation of TFNN.
Welcome, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us, folks. We have the Dow Industrials right now flat. S&Ps are flat. Composite, NASDAQ Composite's up 6. You got gold flat, silver's flat, platinum's up, oil's flat. Apple's
Let's go water skiing.
Apple's not
Water
flat.
skiing.
Let's go over.
Let's do some barefoot water skiing.
Well, totally, man. Let's go over to Apple. We take a look at Apple. Apple out here this morning, folks. You get another gap away. Apple is at 629, hit the 631. And, you know, yeah, that was the next ABC up, the 630. But I was really hoping for a 26-point gap this morning.
Man, oh, man.
See, a 26-point gap this morning, folks, would have been a 3-gap play. Well, you could still say it's a 3-gap play. But what the difference is this, is that the gap's not large enough.
Right. The gap this morning just wasn't large
That's
enough.
right.
Yeah.
You know, what you want with a 3-gap play is that you want the last gap to be twice the width of the biggest gap thus far.
Of the prior two.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And a 26-point gap would have been a blowaway gap. And then what you'd want, I would want simultaneously, is a huge amount of volume. Because the way a 3-gap play works...
They're great, too.
Is that
they come all the way back to that first gap.
They go back to the first gap, which in this case is 419, and then they go back to the high.
Right, right.
They continue on the larger trend, folks, okay, which is just a total mind blower. So bottom line is that you know, no one's that's Apple's going higher. That's the bottom line.
Now in the case of Apple, though, I mean, you got gaps all over the place here. So you know, when you take a look at some of these more these, I mean, what's pretty wild is just simply from March 8th. Forward for several trading session.
Yes.
You know, you say gap.
You do.
You know, which is pretty weird.
I guess the ones I'm looking at.
Yeah, you're looking at the larger ones. I know,
Just
you know,
does really stick out.
Yeah.
Now, I know what you're saying, though. There's no doubt about it. You know, March 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 13th, they all gapped.
Yeah.
You know, this is just amazing. It really is. We go over to the Dow Industrials yesterday.
Yes.
So what we did with the Dow is this, folks. We tested the high yesterday on 730 million versus 1.6 billion.
Yes.
So that, you know, that in itself.
And you closed back underneath it.
It closed back underneath it.
Okay.
And what we had there is that what we had prior to that is that we had the comp test, we had the S&P test, we had the Russell 2000 test, and then they come off that with no volume.
Right.
So it's like, okay, man, you can't bust it down, you're going to bust it back up. Can't bust it up, it's going to bust it down. So the bottom line is that the game is still on, you know, to basically see if it can get to higher price.
Yeah.
That's the way this is shaking out, man. And it's going to be the good old dollar.
Yes.
The dollar.
Last night it started trading inside that February 29th game.
Yeah. And
I was, you know, because I was watching the basketball games, the basketball game that was on.
Yes.
You know, and so probably about 11:30 or 12 o'clock. It was trading inside that candle. So I went to bed. I was like, uh-oh, okay.
Yeah.
Looks like maybe it wants to get down and test the bottom.
Yeah. And well,
but it rejected it.
It hit the 78, 79 this morning.
Yeah.
Rejected it again. You know, now you came off this on a 10-minute with some conviction. So bottom line is that when all said and done, it's going to be, the wrench is going to be the dollar going higher.
Yes.
That's the way it looks to me. I mean, because it's like, what else is going on out there? You know, if we take a look at Google, what you have with, let me get Google up here. You know, you have Google is still having a tough time getting inside where it gapped away from. Amazon yesterday was basically showing that, okay, that little baby wants to get into lower price. You know, what you have at Amazon came up to ICE, meaning that, you know, $200 mark. Came off it slightly with lighter volume, heavier volume. So today's going to be a big test on Amazon, actually, because we did 6.4 million yesterday. If it does like 8 or 10 million today, well, that's saying that, yeah, we'll get, you know, up for that last spike. But if it gets lighter than that, that's the heads up that, okay, Amazon very well could be the one that tries to get it at a lower price. And the reason I'm saying that, too, is that Amazon was 5 months ahead of the marketplace, you know.
Okay.
And the lows of 2008.
Okay, right.
Big time. 5 months ahead, folks. That is a big heads up. You know, and believe me, if Amazon does, you know, a couple $100 pullback, No, let me see. It can't be a couple $100.
You're gonna put it on the business.
No. Okay, so let's take a look at that couple $100. I think you're looking at.
It's zero. At that stage.
Right. Let's see. So
it's Best Buy. You're thinking is going to do the big pullback.
Oh my God! This doesn't look too pretty on a monthly basis. This doesn't look pretty at all. Well, you know what? If it could pull back to 125 and you're 201, this is interesting, man.
Yeah, now this is one of those stocks. I think it might have been on Thursday or Friday last week. You were talking about, maybe it wasn't yesterday. I don't think you were talking about Best Buy.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And the problems of being this big brick and mortar.
Right.
And I think your statement was, well, what can you buy at Best Buy that you can't at Amazon?
Yeah. Right. Right.
You know,
it's a big showroom. It's a beautiful showroom for all of us.
Oh, absolutely.
You want to go see something? See it. Take your SKU and your phone. Oh. Save $400 here.
Yeah, for sure.
They're paying for a showroom.
So when you think about buying merchandise, retail, what have you, is not going away.
Right.
You'd think that as a longer term play, Amazon at some point in time should be a good stock.
No, big.
Right.
I think it's a great stock
because you're looking at Circuit City, boom, gone. Who really took their place? Anybody? I guess I saw some. Fry's stores or something like that try to pop up. I don't know much about them. They're more of a West Coast. I don't know where they're.
I know what you're talking about. But
nobody really taking their place. I think you're going to end up with the Costco's and the Sam's Clubs being kind of being your showroom for maybe some electronics or what have you.
Yeah.
For people that want to personally go out and pick stuff up, but otherwise, it's going to be more digital. Just going to be
H.H. Craig.
H.H. Craig, that's what it is. Okay.
Thanks, Jay.
Okay.
Yeah, H.H. Craig.
Right. Yeah. So seeing, those guys pop up. But, would you want to get in the brick and mortar business selling low margin technology equipment?
The reason, one of the main reasons I wouldn't is that
of course, you'd open up an Apple store in a heartbeat if they gave you a franchise.
Oh, give me a break.
Now that would get the stock to right.
That would
turn the stores into franchises.
Wow. Apple Store in every corner.
Oh my goodness!
Just every corner.
That's right.
Could you imagine? Every single corner. Pretty amazing. The whole aspect of getting larger appliances at bigger stores, I think, is going south. And I guess
Sears used to be in that. That was their business, right?
Sears, and when you actually look at the time frame, folks, this has been going on for quite a while. This wasn't overnight,
No. Yeah.
Now, I haven't bought an appliance online yet.
Yeah.
But what I did do the last time, Angie wanted a washer and dryer, and I really shopped them. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. But the thing is, you say you haven't bought it online, but maybe you went to the showroom. Could have been the Sears store. Could have been anywhere.
Right.
I think the last one that I bought was probably, I can't recall where it was from, but certainly was delivered by truck.
Yes.
I didn't haul it home.
No, absolutely.
So really buying it by because what they have, it sets up a whole service industry of folks that they'll dispatch to meet if they coordinate with the shipping carrier so that it arrives at your place.
Oh, that's what happened. No, there's no doubt about it. And I shopped them because, a good washer and dryer, if you want to buy, is big money.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And $1,500. $2,000,
and it was well worth it.
Sure.
I mean, the thing is amazing. I actually end up saving over $500 per appliance.
Yeah.
Per appliance.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's $1,000. It's like, okay,
right.
I can take 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever it is, for $1,000 in a heartbeat.
For sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Steve was showing me a little bit earlier, folks, and this is it. The test is coming! The test is coming! Watch out! What we're looking at here is Steve's. Now this is amazing. He has a 10-minute up. Is it a 10-minute?
10 minute. 10 minute.
It's a 10-minute going 4 days, folks, and it hasn't broken this trend line yet. And it's going to attack it right now.
Yeah, staying inside this channel.
Let me give it some. I got to call Nico and get some vitamins for it.
I love it.
Hey, listen, folks. Nico won the gold.
Did he really?
Nico won the gold at the Pan Am Games. Okay,
man,
he's going to be back.
That's cool.
In L.A. So the Pan Am Games were for Jiu-Jitsu was in Los Angeles this past weekend. And it's amazing because I know he was the oldest fighter there. He's 67.
Yeah, and he was hurt. He was hurt too.
He was hurt,
right? He wasn't.
And what he did is that and it was really cool because
it's rejected.
Look at it, it's rejected. We need some more vitamins here. And so the guy that he was fighting, I can't wait to hear the story. He sent me a text right after the bout on Saturday.
Yeah,
and he fought twice. But anyway, it's a great story, man. I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Really cool.
Yeah, he's an animal, man. You know, when I watched that, you wouldn't believe. Let me tell you something. I work out with them 3 days a week, folks, right? But when these guys work out jiu-jitsu, they're fighting. He's fighting for about 20 or 30 minutes at a time. Yeah. Right? And the bouts, I believe, are 6 to 10 minutes, right? Yeah. So some days he shows up, right? I look at him, man. He's all black and blues. I mean, all black and blues. I'm looking at him. He says, oh, yeah, man. He says,
he goes up against some younger kids.
Totally. And those young kids come in, those, what do you call them? Wherever you fight, it's not the sensei, whatever that,
dojo, I don't know.
Yeah, dojo.
Is it? Okay.
When they come in the dojo, of course, they're looking at him and they want to, boom, hit him.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
Oh my God, just take it easy.
I know, man. It's really great though, man. He's got to be so psyched, man.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Looking forward to shaking his hand.
No,
but it won't be Friday because we got the shortened trading week.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, shortened trading week. Gonna have to wait another week.
We're gonna open those machines. Those machines, Mortimer. Get those machines going.
I love that.
Keep them going now. See that?
It's testing it. It's testing it. Got another minute to go.
It's gonna get croaked. Let me see if
could be a false break.
Let me see if we got any juice behind it. That's what we're gonna need. Okay, so you're going into the channel line.
You got Best Buy up.
Best Buy. They want me to go buy something there, evidently. Okay, you stay right there, folks. This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We're going to be coming back. We're looking at the S&P right now. It's just breaking that trend line that's been in 4 days, and it looks to me like, let's see, what time is it?
10:19. It's got
10:19.
a minute to go.
It's a beautiful thing.
Got a minute to go.
You stay right there, folks. We'll come right back.
That just ended.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of investment newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today, click Investment Newsletters, and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investments, and whether you're bullish or bearish on U.S. Treasuries, the ETFs from Direction Shares are there to help you seek to maximize your returns. Bull ETFs for a rising market and bear ETFs for a falling market. Direction Shares gives you the tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction Shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction Shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of from shorting and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Hi, folks. Turns out my best student became my best teacher. Steve Rhodes absolutely raised my standards, and I'll guarantee he'll raise yours.
Thanks, Tom. What I've learned is that if you want more, you must become more. And that transformation, folks, that occurs the moment you decide to become a master. Now, the quickest way to mastery is through immersion. And for 2 solid days in Denver, Boston, and Tampa, I'll create a new standard of wealth for those few trader investors who have a burning desire to succeed. At my Master Trader course, I'll teach you how to create the ultimate money machine. These are the best-kept secrets in the business. Roadblocks, folks. Dabblers give up when they first appear. Stressors last just a little bit longer, but masters expect roadblocks and achieve extraordinary results when they bust right through them. I have all the benefit of knowing the type of wealth creation that I can generate for you. You don't. That's why I'm making this unconditional money-back guarantee. If for any reason you're not satisfied with my Master Trader course, I'll refund every penny. That's right. I take all the risk, and you get all the benefit. Go to the homepage at tfn.com and sign up today.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Right now, we got the Dow down 28, NASDAQ's up 1, S&Ps are off 1.5. And she's trying to sneak back into that. She's sneaking back into that channel. We'll see whether she can hangs there. Gold is down 860. So bottom line is, if we go over to this dollar, the dollar looks like it's rising its head here. And what's amazing, folks, is that you're talking about a very small head at this particular point, but a few ticks. Put a little selling in the marketplace. I mean, this is nothing. This is a joke. 152 ticks. What is that?
Right,
that's nothing.
Right.
But what it does have is that it came in, one trade was 808, contracts. So, that basically has some juice there. So, we have, let's see. So really, tomorrow is realistically the last day in window dressing. What's intriguing, of course, is that because Friday's a holiday, you're coming into Easter.
Pretty much people
Thursday can be flat too. Yeah,
you would think it should be pretty flat.
Yeah,
and that leaves them, and then Friday, full moon Friday.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
be nice and bright.
That's a beautiful
in the evenings.
thing.
There you go.
Oh, a full moon Friday.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
so it sets up a 3-day week. 3-day week, 4-day week. They got Friday, Saturday,
Sunday.
Yeah. We need more days.
Well, that would be all right.
Like to come back, maybe a change in trend.
No, you could definitely. I could definitely go for a 4-day work week. No doubt about it. Then you can think a couple of days.
Totally. I'd like it.
Totally.
Did you watch the basketball game last night?
I didn't.
No,
I didn't.
Yeah, it was a good game.
I think I came home. I fell asleep early, man. I was up this morning. There's something about the energy right now. I get, the sky must be right. I woke up at 4:00 flying.
Oh, that's
feeling great. No, it was dynamite.
That's good. Yeah,
it was dynamite. Well, what's so funny is that I forgot that Nico's still in L.A. So I take Harley out. So picture this, folks. I take my German Shepherd. Well, first I work for about an hour. Then I jump in, I get Harley. We're out walking at 5 o'clock, so I walk down to Nico's. I'm there at like 6:15.
Yeah.
And all the lights are. I says, "Oh man, I forgot he's still in L.A." So I walked back. We had a blast though. It was, it's funny though when you wake up that early. Sometimes if you wake up that early and you're tired, it's like, oh no, I don't want to wake up that early. But I woke up that early and I felt great. Because I probably fell asleep on the couch at 9:30.
Right.
So.
Yeah, if you get a good night's sleep. I took a little nap yesterday because I wanted to watch the game.
Oh, cool.
So that way, come game time, I was up and you know, it's pretty easy to stay up and watch it. Then the problem becomes falling back to sleep.
Naps are dynamite, though.
They are.
Folks, if you get a chance to take naps, are really good for you. They're healthy for you.
Yeah.
You know,
I don't even have to take a long one. Just a reasonable nap.
You do. And then isn't it funny though when you first get up? Like when you first get up, it's like, oh, I'm still tired. I'm still tired. But then a half hour after that, you feel great.
Yeah, rejuvenated for sure.
If they're one thing they get straight in Europe, okay, is naps. You know, they don't
taking off the afternoon.
Well, you don't have to take off the whole afternoon, but I think the nap aspect is a good aspect, and the eating late is a good aspect if you take a nap.
Yeah.
We were over at some friend's house Friday night, and we didn't eat till 10 o'clock. And, you know, Angie's saying to me, it's 10 o'clock at night. We might as well. Well, it felt good, actually.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
You know, because it didn't feel like 10 o'clock.
Well, you weren't eating steaks at 10, were you?
What were we eating? Let's see. No, we were eating, how did I forget what we were eating? No, we were eating Italian.
Italian, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Because I would say if you could eat something that's more water-based, whether it be salads or fish or things like that, then it just probably metabolizes so much better inside you.
Yeah, I could eat a steak at midnight. It wouldn't matter.
Yeah, I know you can.
I'm not kidding.
I watched you do it when we were doing the West Coast tour.
I can literally eat a steak at midnight. It wouldn't matter. But what's you going to do?
Well, let's see. When we were in Spokane, you know, the hotel we were staying at had a nice restaurant.
Huge, yeah.
Right? Yeah. So you figure we weren't done with the show in Spokane until 10-ish.
Right.
Because in fact, it was closing at 10.
That's right.
Which was really what? Was it
1
midnight or 1 our time?
Right.
Give us some steak.
Yeah. We get cows in the backyard over here, folks. We have another room.
Hey, you know what is interesting? Most people don't know is that I think that Florida is if it's not the top, it might be the second behind Texas as far as providing meat.
Yeah, no. All right, listen.
You just travel around the state, all over the state. You know, you see all kinds of cows all over the place.
Yeah, when you go up Central Florida, it blew my mind actually. You know, looking out, and the first time I ever saw hills in Florida with cattle.
Yeah,
like hills.
Yeah,
no,
you got to work them out
big time. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We want to hear from you folks. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. We have a flat market right now. Let's go. Let's get some action going here. We're going to be right back.
You've heard Tom O'Brien on the air, and you've always thought about trying out his newsletter, Market Insights. Well, now is the perfect time. For a limited time only, when you sign up for a 2-week free trial to Market Insights, we'll send you a free copy of Tom O'Brien's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System. If you decide to cancel within the 2-week trial period, pay absolutely nothing and keep Tom's book as a free gift from us. Tom sends out his daily newsletter each morning by 9:30 a.m. with trade recommendations, including price targets and price stops. As recently as March 21st, Market Insights subscribers closed out a position for more than a 25% profit in just over 2 weeks. To get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights, along with your free copy of The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, visit the front page of tfnn.com. Supplies are limited for this one-of-a-kind special, so act today and don't let this opportunity pass you by. Offer only valid for new subscribers. In just December of last year, the price of gold was down over 10%. In today's highly volatile gold market, you need someone in your corner that understands the complex relationships that exist within the price of gold, as well as within a variety of gold equities. Whether it's the South African gold miners and knowing how the Rand-dollar relationship will affect their bottom line, or understanding how John Paulson's $5 billion trade in the GLD can move the market, Tom O'Brien gives you the direction you need to become a better trader each week in his newsletter, The Gold Report. With over 20 individual equities covered and almost another 20 on the potential watch list each week, in addition to covering the XAU, HUI, GLD, and dollar, The Gold Report is a great source for any trader that is looking to be diversified in today's volatile gold market. For your 30-day free trial to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report, log on to tfnn.com today. Don't miss out on this great offer. Act now.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals. time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes that a carefully selected portfolio can lower volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angela O'Brien, First Vice President and Certified Financial Planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
In the world of financial markets, there's a new player in town with an exciting new way to trade the markets. Nadex now offers binary options as well as bull spreads in a wide range of indices along with commodity and forex markets. With as little as $100, you can gain access to a new way to trade global financial markets while guaranteeing that your risk will always be capped. Nadex allows you to multiply your trading opportunities in ways never imagined before and access markets you once thought were out of reach. With short-term trading opportunities available, including binary options expiring each hour the market is open, Nadex allows you to take advantage of a variety of market conditions regardless of volatility or market direction. Now is the time to take advantage of this exciting new market. Don't let this trading opportunity pass you by. Open your account today by clicking on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Nadex, a better way to trade.
This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We appreciate you growling and prowling out here with us. Folks, don't forget, April 13th and 14th. That's going to be a week from this Friday, right?
Yeah, a week from Friday.
Week from this Friday. Right in our office, Steve's going to be doing a Master Trader series, actually in our building. We got a beautiful building in downtown Clearwater. That is April 13th and 14th. And then in Boston, Massachusetts, April 27th and 28th. You can check out, of course, all the details on the front page of TFNN. It comes with an unconditional money-back guarantee.
Speed of trust, baby.
The speed of trust. Yeah. That's right.
You know, what I like the opportunity to do is just kind of reflect back. You know, and you know, yesterday we talked about, or I talked about, you know, on the show,
right?
Just simply the speed of trust. That, you know, and what I did was I gave people just a quick exercise,
yeah.
You know, and because what you don't realize is simply both because you can measure it financially, you can measure trust financially,
yes.
And, you know, and how you do that, just think about you in business. You know, there's certain people that, you know, whether it's a supplier,
right.
You know, a partner you've got a relationship
right.
with, employees, whoever it is, you know, where you've got a certain level of trust.
Right.
And you can, you know, either work with them, work through a project or what have you. And when you work with that individual or individuals,
right.
You know, and you've given that project to them, you don't even have to really think about it.
Right.
You can rely upon their opinion, right?
That's right.
So there's an absolute financial
there is
aspect versus, let's say, some other supplier or vendor, whoever it is, where you don't have that level of trust,
right?
And yet you still have to work on a project with them. And when you do work on that project and you get the results back or whatever it is you're looking for, you've got to spend time analyzing what they gave to you.
And it's too much
right?
time. No.
You know,
and this is with everything.
Yeah.
This is with everything. I mean, depending, you know, how many deals you make in a lifetime, folks, I make hundreds. And what I've learned, bottom line, is, you know, if something happens in one deal, don't ever go back.
Yeah.
Number one. Even if, don't ever go back, because it doesn't matter. And it has to do with the time aspect.
Oh, for sure.
It doesn't even, and I'm not talking about if a mistake was made. That's different. Mistake.
Well, look, even with a trusted person, okay,
yeah.
When, let's say, maybe you don't get the outcome you were looking for.
Oh, that's all right,
too. You knew that person or what have you, it was all well intended.
Oh, that's all right. No.
So it's an acceptable. Even that cost, okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, right.
Because it doesn't matter. So you're going on. It's like a trade. You're going on the next one. That's all right.
Yes.
You can't expect them. There's no way you can expect them to all go good.
Yeah.
If they all went good, forget it, man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it wouldn't even be fun.
So what I talked about this morning, how when you really take a look at it, when you really break it down, is trust is really the new currency.
Yeah.
When you really take a look at the,
I think
the
it always
financial-
has been.
It always has. Yeah,
You
it
know,
always has been.
I mean-
but where I was really going with it, as I was describing it this morning during the 9 o'clock show, was from the standpoint of just simply patterns, because you know we hear out there you can't trust this, or the market's rigged against you, or whatever's going on with the Fed or the ECB, and all that stuff is going on. And all that I did was I just simply put up there, here's this beautiful charts.
Yes.
This is nothing more than the 30-minute ES Mini showing all of these great patterns. Whether they're butterfly cell patterns, or they're Gertley. In with the sacred geometry numbers, whether it's 1.272 expansion, whether it's an expansion off a swing point at 2.618, and how to, and this is where the speed of trust comes in, because that's really what the Master Trader Series is about, is showing folks, how these chart patterns communicate with us.
Right.
And that the moment that you can, and where you really want to be able to take advantage of that currency, is being able to trust yourself. And that's really what your Master Trader was about when you did that. It's really what mine is all about. For sure. And so just really trying to wrap that all together with, trust really is a current, always has been. We don't think about it in those terms.
Well, watch what happens, right? This is my take on it, folks, is that, I end the show many times that, we have everything you need is right inside.
Yeah, absolutely.
What power wants to do, what all powers want to do, is have you not trust yourself.
Yeah.
That's what control's about.
Because they want to rely on somebody else.
Yeah, that's what control's about, And once you can get that out of your head, right, then you just tell them, hey, see ya, don't want to be ya, man.
Well, the thing that you have to realize is that if your real outcome is to be able to accumulate wealth, okay, you can work hard for it. Certainly, you can do it that way. Pretty tough way. You work hard for your money. I say make your money work hard for you.
Right.
Okay, maybe you can marry into it. Okay, that might be. Maybe you can inherit it or what have you.
You have the right DNA, the lucky gene club.
That's right. Okay, yeah. But most of us, aren't named Walton or what have you. Okay.
Right.
And it's really, what's going to hold you back, is trust. I always talk about the difference between making, how you make the impossible possible is get rid of that I am, get rid of yourself.
That's right.
Take yourself out of it. Well, another way to really think about it is, if you really want to achieve something, you've got to be able to find some tools to be able to have trust in yourself. Doesn't matter whether you're playing golf, whether you're, whether it's a sport, whether it's making money, whether it's something in your work environment, whatever it is.
Right.
If you don't find ways to increase your trust level.
Right.
What you're doing is you're eating away at your time.
Yeah.
And when you eat away your time, that's just decaying.
And there's no reason not to trust yourself, because the bottom line is that if you what will happen very quickly, and that's where this comes into even quiet time, folks. You get quiet time, you start talking to yourself, you're going to know real soon what you're all about.
Well, that's the beauty about about driving this weekend. I drove up to FSU in Tallahassee, and stopped in Gainesville to see one of my daughters, and then and so just simply having those 4 or 5 hours of driving. Actually, I just didn't turn the radio on. Sometimes it would be on, but oftentimes it would just be off, and just kind of that's where I started really thinking about the speed of trust. So.
Right. Because what's cool is that think about some of the best ideas you ever got. What happens to me anyway is that I have to be thinking for a good hour and a half, because the first 20, 30 minutes, if you're thinking, then you're around the surrounding area. Yeah. The next 20 or 30, you're going out. Then the next 20 or 30, though, man, you're focusing right in.
Oh, totally.
I love that. That's a high.
Yeah,
it's absolutely a high.
It is, and taking that even just one step further, one of the coolest things about pattern recognition, about what you taught me, what Larry taught me, David, everybody that I've consumed information from. I've been a real consumer, if you will. We all are. Yeah. And has been. Oftentimes when you're making decisions, what you can't anticipate is what's the cost of, let's say, a decision that doesn't work out. Right. What's that cost? Like we were talking about yesterday on the show, even the guy from Chrysler, the CEO from Chrysler. Yes. He put it in perspective. He said, they're doing well, but he can only afford one mistake. He understood what that cost was. Well, with pattern recognition, when a 1.272 butterfly fails, where's it going? 1.618.
Yeah, huge.
So you can. What's cool about the money management side of the business is that you can truly anticipate what the outcome of a failure is going to be. Right. So it's really empowering.
It's cut and dried. Oh, it is empowering. It absolutely is empowering.
Yeah.
Right.
Anyways.
Yeah. Well, no, I know, and
that's where we really spend time, in the Master Trader course. The feedback I got from the folks in Denver.
Right.
What was interesting is because we spent a lot of time on the technical tools, but then there's a little bit of downtime where we're talking what have you. They're really interested, which was cool, on the psychological edge. Just even what we're talking about here, because they were just being able to apply to just their own trading.
Because what happens, folks, is that once you understand, number one, how these numbers work, and number two, when there's a failure in place and they're going to go to the next one, what I've seen is that it will fire something off in your brain saying, oh, man, I'm not going to lose that much money.
That's right. Yeah, you can close out earlier.
So it's a way that you're actually being defensive, which is pretty cool, which the trigger. You need a trigger.
Yeah.
And, those between that, 1.27 and 618, that's a huge trigger. Let me tell you something, folks.
It absolutely can be. That's right.
Bye-bye.
Especially if you get a wide price spread, set of swing points. Yeah,
totally.
Absolutely.
Let's go to Costa Rica. Hey, Rico, what's happening, brother?
There's a guy with trust.
Yeah.
Well, I always listen to you guys. I'm like the Maytag repairman. I'm here alone and waiting for a call for something.
I love it.
Nobody calls me except a few young ladies, and that's good enough. But getting back to reality, I learned a long time ago, understanding your own human pattern recognition is the key for me for everything I do. And when I screw up, and I do screw up big in my time, I have to recognize, well, what did I do to screw up so bad, and make a better choice and think about how did I screw up so bad and never let that mistake happen again.
Yeah, that's awesome. Because that's understanding yourself, and we all can have opinions, but the reality is that I don't think any of us understand what someone else is thinking unless you ask them.
Right.
You can think what you think someone else is thinking, but it's always you get some real clarity if you ask them specifically.
Yeah.
I think about the fact that I have a language lost in translation problem with many people in this country.
You have a language lost in translation. Listen to me.
That's funny.
Yeah, but at least we have an idea in our own language of English where we're going with our cockamamie discussion.
That's funny.
I've had discussions with people in this country. I'm like, what are we talking about? Have I lost my mind?
Well, Rico, you lost your mind a long time ago, man.
I know. Well, there's two things I recognize. One is you guys were talking about don't make the same mistake.
Right.
And one thing I learned a long time ago, I really enjoy, I don't want to get off track, but I enjoy the pleasure of beautiful young Latin ladies. And there's been many times where I thought, I really want to marry that girl. I really want to have a future. And then I kick myself in the shin and I say, are you crazy? What for? It's going to only end up in a big problem.
Oh, that's funny.
And that's the greatest pattern recognition I've ever acknowledged for myself.
Well, this gets kind of interesting. Now we're getting heavy because, see, what you just said, now this gets interesting, okay, because the reality is that I would say, in that context, I say, okay, well, why don't you trust yourself that you couldn't get and have a great relationship? You see what I'm saying? So we could get into a whole different ball game here, but that, there is absolutely a trust issue there too.
Tom, let me put it this straight. I know myself.
Listen, man, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that and this is where just perception comes in general.
It's all about meeting. It's all about meeting. Your needs, which is really what you're talking about.
Right.
And what was kind of interesting is even during the Master Trader series, what the questions I was getting was some of the folks. All of them actually wanted to know more about. Some of the Tony Robbins stuff, stuff that I really have that I don't talk about on the show, but I was just simply talking about the 6 human needs that are out there for each of us. And so you talked about, if you ask people questions, you can immediately identify what their needs are. When you understand what somebody's needs are, then you can service.
Right.
You can provide service to them. Now, a lot of folks, everybody kind of searches for love and connection, but we all do it different ways. Some people. Their primary needs are significance or certainty.
Right.
Now, what I teach people is you can have certainty in the marketplace. Actually, when I did that during the Master Trader, the light bulbs went off in everybody's eyes. They were just like, holy cow.
Yeah.
Because most people will think about these markets as one of the most uncertain places.
Yeah, and it's not. No,
it's not.
I know.
When I really revealed to them and showed them the certainty that you can have there, it was. I've never seen light bulbs go off.
Yeah,
you know, it's just like being in the den watching light bulbs.
No, I know.
And I was like, that was just worth the cost of admission into it.
Yeah.
But for love and connection, you know, in your case, okay, Rico, if you're not coming necessarily from a place of significance or certainty, and then you can have love and connection in the relationships that you have. But I don't want to get into all that, so I know people want to talk about the market.
Hey, listen,
or
folks,
they want to talk about...
Give Steve and I a call. We got a beautiful couch here you can lay on.
Okay.
I like it, the Den Love Hour. Okay, now we're talking.
Oh, man.
Okay, so get rid of Dr. Laura and the Dr. Phil. We got Dr. Tom and Dr. Steve.
Oh, man, let me tell you. Hey, all these traders and traders. I'll tell you, you know what, folks, if I found out anything, particularly growing up in South Boston, right, and you probably heard this before, but we never even knew what a psychologist was, a psychiatrist was, and all that.
Right.
And then I had a company... And almost, 50% of the girls, they had their own psychiatrist, right?
Yeah.
And they were all trust fund babies. And I said to my partner, what is this? What? I said, don't they have any friends? Can you talk to friends?
Yeah, right.
But what's cool, in the trading community, I don't think any of you folks need anyone, because the reality is that there is something inside the trading community that you're always challenging your head and all that. You ever look at somebody?
For sure.
I can tell someone's a trader just like that.
Yeah.
I really can. There's something that happens, and the reality is, I think we probably all talk to ourselves enough, and you see the ups and downs, and you're okay. So,
yeah, absolutely.
What are we going to look at, K. Rico?
It's the human pattern recognition. That's all what it's about.
It is, man. It is.
Well, I was going to say look at the spiders, but I'm cool. I see what the spiders are doing. It's just going up.
Hey, they're traveling inside. They're traveling inside this channel here. That's what the S&P is doing.
I can see it dripping down. I can see a dip down in the next couple of weeks to the 1390 area on the ES 1390 back and fill a little bit, but it just seems like the powers that be and the whole 9 yards is we're just going up until we don't. But right now we're just going up.
Cooking, brother.
I love it.
Okay.
Have a great day,
man. Have a safe one.
Okay.
And Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there, folks. We're gonna go to beautiful Portland, Oregon next with Greg. Going to be talking about diamond offshore. Right now, you get the Dow down 12, Nasdaq's up 5, S&P's are flat. We're going to be right back.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pesavento's new trading newsletter, Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind. In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the forex market, and more. And you'll get the Technical Corner segment, which is a short but powerful weekly training session on trading. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you just the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 weeks. Go to tfnn.com and click on the free trial link at the top of the page. That's an $85 value, yours free when you register right now. Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind and get the edge you've been looking for.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650, but you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
Catch Kate Stalter on the Small Cap Roundup, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. Eastern. Up next on TFNN.
Distribution. Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We have the Dow down 5, NASDAQ up 7. Good old Apple holding that baby up in a big way. You get the S&Ps up 1. Let's go over to Greg in Portland. We're going to be talking about Diamond Offshore. Morning, Greg. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great, Tom. Steve, how are you guys doing?
Very good. Thanks for calling.
So, hey, what is the weather in Portland like right now?
Oh, man, it's yesterday was really a nice day. It's about 1 out of every 10 or 12 days now is pretty decent. But we're back to raining, kind of a storm.
Okay.
But it's still the most beautiful place you can ever expect to be.
That's a beautiful place.
Now we know why you're there.
That's a beautiful place.
You couldn't be any place else.
Were you born and raised there, Greg, or did you?
No, I was born in Minnesota.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Minnesota boy.
There you go.
So then what? So now do you watch the Oregon's got a pretty decent college hockey team, don't they?
Oh, not hockey, but they got a good football team. But I did my graduate work at KU, so I'm still suffering through the game last night.
Oh, okay.
That's a killer.
They came back. I mean, within really a basket of just that steal there towards the end that they turned over. Couple of plays. I mean, there were just a couple of plays that could have totally turned that game around. Because
right at the end.
Kentucky had a big lead, and then you could see all of a sudden they were losing trust in themselves.
Yeah.
And they were playing just so conservative. Because they did the whole energy. You could see I don't know about you, Greg, but it's like the energy just totally shifted.
You just remind me. I got to get the Final Four for hockey is in Tampa Friday night.
It is?
Yeah, I got to get tickets.
Oh,
Boston College is playing.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, totally. Okay, so you want to take a look at Diamond Offshore?
Yeah, I was looking at it, and a couple of things kind of. I just wanted to get your opinion on it. I was looking at December.
Okay.
December 19th, you had a big swing low.
Yeah.
And then in March, you've got that high. And I was looking at that as maybe an A and the A-B. and that pullback,
wow,
well, almost to the penny, came to, you know, the 382. Is that a big ABC?
Well, you completed, you know, and you picked out just those swing points that you did. That December 19th low is your A point. Your B point would be up at that January 26th, and it just pulled back for 2 trading sessions. So it did complete an A to B equals C to D. At the 71.90 was the exact amount. It got up to 72.80.
Yeah,
now, what was nice is that as it came into that point, it did it with volume.
Yeah.
So you know you've got some nice volume up there at the top, and which should be at least tested again. I would think would be tested.
Yeah, no, I agree. And well, what I would let it do, though, I suspect you're going to get a retracement of 61. You know, and if you do, that's where you want to be all over it. Because it very well may be now doing, you know, finished the ABC up. Now it's probably going to do a small ABC down. And what's, you know, 50% retracement of that whole move would be a beauty on lighter volume, because then that would be a larger ABC up. Now, what it's running into, though, you know, is monster resistance, you know, with dramatically heavier volume. You know, that's on a much longer term basis, okay? But on a shorter term basis, that would be a great consolidation. And those gas and oil sectors love to do those monster consolidations. That's why I love trading them. You know, they'll trade in 30-point swings.
Yeah, and so if you're looking for a place to go long, you know, what you'd like to see it come through that March 29th area, which only has 1.3 million. You'd like to see it come through there with lighter volume, get into that 61.
Yeah, do a Tiger Godly.
That's right, into the $60 area, and that would set up your buy.
Cooking, brother. Have a great one. Have a safe one. You stay right there, folks. We got Kate Stalter coming up next. That is going to be a replay, folks. Kate had something to do today. Then Victor Jones coming up 12 to 1. Ken Shreve 3 to 4. And we're back here 4 to 6. Have a great one. Have a safe one. Look forward to speaking to you this afternoon.
Take care, folks.